Well, we are back. Game week 4 predictions are here and they are live. I can only apologise I didn't get game week 3 up and ready for you lovely people. Unfortunately, it was a near impossible task with time, but we are back, ready for the weekend. Some great fixtures coming up, so let's go predict them all. So here we go. In front of us, we've got 12 tasty looking games, as we always do in the National League South, of course. And we're starting off with a game that for me is only going to go one way. We've got Bournemouth taking on Weymouth. Of course, Bournemouth, a very strong start in their first 3 games. They have now gone 3 games without defeat, 2 wins, 2 draws. And they are sitting in the playoffs. And I expect them not to go anywhere throughout the season. They will sit in that playoffs, or obviously be higher and right at the top. Obviously, Weymouth, on the other hand, really disappointing start from them. I expected them to get relegated this year. That's why I did put them in my predictions, as much as I don't necessarily want them to go down. But of course, 2 games without scoring, 3 losses, 7 goals conceded in the opening 3 games, of course, with a home defeat to Chippenham as well. It's really, really looking tough for them this year. This game is nice and easy to predict. I could be completely wrong, and that would be the beauty of this league, but I have gone for a very, very comfortable 2-0 Boreham win. So moving on, we've got Chippenham Town. They are taking on Maidstone United. Obviously, that follows on from the last game. Weymouth obviously losing to Chippenham. Chippenham will be really pleased getting that first points on the board. Before that, 2 straight losses. But of course, a fantastic 2-0 away win at Weymouth. Clean sheet under the belt. Really good result for them. Maidstone, on the other hand, definitely not their dream start. I don't think any of the fans will hide their emotions that they probably didn't expect to only have 4 points out of their opening 3 games. But of course, a very disappointing home draw to Hampton and Richmond, who are definitely going to be one of the strugglers in the league this year. Fantastic result for them, but Maidstone will be fairly disappointed, I would think, with that result. But as much as I am not a big Maidstone fan whatsoever, but I will back them to go and win very, very narrowly away at Chippenham. So I've gone for a 2-1 Maidstone win there. Don't know why I'm backing them. They've been pretty poor in the last couple of games, but, they've got a very capable side of going anywhere in this league and getting 3 points. After that, we've got Eastbourne Borough. They are taking on Aveley. Eastbourne Borough went away to Farnborough. Stupidly tough place to go. Lost 2-0, but it's not the end of the world for Eastbourne. They are still not having a bad start to life up there in the National League South. Aveley, on the other hand, it's not looking great. I think if you're Eastbourne, you've got to admit it's probably a very nice time to play them at home. Couple players sent off in that last game, of course. I can't remember who they were, but a very narrow 1-0 home defeat to Hemel and Hempstead. But as I said, 2 players sent off late. Will be coming with a bit of a thinner squad than they'd like, against a very strong Eastbourne side, who obviously have that was their first loss of the season, but going away to Farnborough, a team I expect to be up in the playoffs. It's a very understandable loss, so for that reason, I'm going to back Farnborough to do what Hemel just did to Aveley. Back Farnborough? Did I say Farnborough? I'm going to back Eastbourne to do what Hemel just did to Aveley and get a 1-0 win. Be a cracking result for Eastbourne, and for them, if they do win that game, to have 7 points on the board in their first 4 games after how last season started. In my personal opinion, that is not a bad result at all. After that, we have Hampton and Richmond Borough. Of course, one thing we've got to say about them is, 2 very good points in the last couple of weeks. I know it's, nothing too crazy for their fans to celebrate, but 2 very important points on the board as they look to bring new boys in the league, Salisbury, to them. Obviously, Salisbury have not had a bad start to life at all up in the National League South. They are yet to lose a game. That's the beauty of this league. They have yet to lose a game. 2 draws, most recently to Truro. Well, I think Ryan Law of Truro scored in like the first minute of the game there, which is always pretty crazy when you see someone, scoring in the first minute and game plans just go out the window. But they did manage to recover, took a point, stay unbeaten in the league. They are doing really, really well, and I think they're going to end up after this weekend on 6 points. I don't see Hampton and Richmond scoring too many this season. You know, very young squad. But Salisbury, as I say, I think they're just going to be a pretty compact side. So for that reason, I've gone for my favourite, a 1-1 draw. Fantastic stuff. After that, we got Hemel Hempstead taking on Worthing. Hemel and Hempstead, of course, we expected them to get better this year. It was inevitable and it had to happen with the money they spent. But this weekend will be an extremely tough test for them. They are playing Worthing, and we know how fun Worthing are to watch. So, of course, Worthing, not the dream start. In Worthing fashion, scored 6, conceded 5. You know, they really do try and, you know, win games the exciting way. Recently, an away draw against St Albans. Scoring 2 away at St Albans is no easy task for anyone. So that's definitely not a bad result. And Hemel, as we said, that narrow 1-0 win against Aveley, which just for the night, on the Monday, did put them on the top of the table. Obviously, Farnborough went and won against whoever it was I said earlier, Eastbourne, of course. So, look, they're having a great season. 2 conceded in 3 games. All the new boys seem to be starting pretty well for them. So it's going to be a really, really tight game. One that I really don't know where to call, but I'm very sorry, Hemel fans. I'm actually going to back Worthing to do it. I'm going to put it to be as exciting as it always is with Worthing, and I'm going 3-2. Should be a great game. I'd love to be watching that one. And then after that, we've got Slough versus Hornchurch, one of the games of the weekend, I think. I know it sounds really silly, but Slough they're proving me wrong all the time at the moment. I'm not going to say it's annoying because I'm so pleased for them. But 8 goals scored, a 6-1 thumping against Enfield. Obviously, that disappointing away loss to Salisbury on the weekend prior. But honestly, to go and win 6-1 away at any team, whether they're the new boys of the league or not, whether I thought Enfield were going to finish bottom or not, it doesn't matter. 6-1 is an emphatic win. I think Spazov, if that's how you pronounce it, he has now got 4 goals. He's joint top goal scorer in the league already. So I don't know how they do it, but Slough just have this way of, they lose players and then they seem to just be able to replace them. They've got a great manager, great setup. They got, they're building something good there, and I really, really didn't expect them to have the start they have. But wins over Chelmsford, wins at Enfield, and now they've got a great chance to go and pull off another shock result against Hornchurch, who, again, are having a great start to life in the league. Hornchurch, of course, 6 points now, only conceded 2 in their opening 3 games. Recently, 1-0 win against St Albans, which is an absolutely fantastic result. And of course, away first day of season to Hampton. They did have that game in the middle, losing to Eastbourne, but a bit like Hemel, we expect Eastbourne to come better this year. This, again, could be a stupidly tight game, so I'm going to keep it a stupidly tight game, and I'm expecting some goals. I am expecting some goals in this game, and that's why I am going for a 2-2 draw. So after that, we have St Albans. They are taking on Chesham United. Chesham, obviously not the dream start for them. 1 point in their opening 3 games, but it's no different for St Albans. 1 point in their opening 3 games too. But what you've got to remember with St Albans is they have always been known for being slow burners, especially since I've really started to follow the league. They seem to really pick up as the season goes on. But at home against Chesham, as I said, I do expect Chesham to be one of the new boys that do survive this year, purely because some of the signings have been fantastic, especially with a couple of those really good players that they signed from Slough, for example. But at home, I expect St Albans to really start picking up the pace now and do the business. I'm not saying a crazy result. I'm not saying a walk in the park. I think it'll be an extremely tight game, and that's why I've gone for St Albans to nick it 2-1. After that, we've got Tonbridge Angels taking on Bath City. Not a bad start yet again for Tonbridge Angels. 5 points. Very, very similar to Salisbury earlier. Unbeaten. 2 draws, 1 win. Really, really good start for them. Scoring goals plenty. Draws against Chelmsford, away. Draws against Aveley, away. Home win against Weymouth. Not a bad start for them at all. You know, they've definitely got a bit of talent in that squad. They really have. Vincent scored on the weekend, I believe, and it was Vincent who scored the weekend before as well. So they've got a few players in that team that are finding form. As I say, Tonbridge Angels are one of the very few teams in the league that I've never gone to watch. I've still never watched Tonbridge Angels play, so I have to change that soon when they're playing down in the southwest. But of course, they're taking on Bath City. Bath City will be extremely disappointed with that Derby Day loss against Torquay. But Torquay are expected to be back fit and firing and be a very, very good outfit this year. Obviously, Bath now, they are currently sitting 17th in the table, have only picked up those 3 points home against Welling. So it's a really, really tough one to call. Tonbridge at home and unbeaten. Bath are always going to be a good side. It's a really, really tough one to call. Really tough one. But I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go Tonbridge to remain unbeaten and beat a strong Bath City side 1-0. Why not? Got to live on the edge a bit, haven't you? Anyway, this game, there's no denying this one is an absolute cracker. We've got Torquay. Torquay are taking on Dorking Wanderers. Two teams already sat in the playoff. Of course, Dorking on 7 points. Another team in the league that have managed to keep themselves unbeaten. Their only draw obviously came against Boreham, which was a clash of the two boys that got relegated last year. I don't think any of those sides would have been disappointed with a 2-2 draw. But obviously, you've got Torquay United. They'll just be loving having football back without the stress, without the worry, going away to Bath, getting 3 points, playing at home to Enfield, for example, getting 3 points. They'll just be loving life at the moment. They'll be on a high adrenaline rush. Obviously, they're getting new boys in the league, like Cody Cook, scoring against former club Bath to win 2-1. I think they're just going to be loving life, and I think they're going to be right up for this. Although I do expect Dorking to be the stronger of the two sides, for me personally, I really am expecting Torquay to come out of the blocks. So I think even though my head's saying, Dorking win, I'm going to back Torquay to go and nick a point at least. I'm expecting a couple of goals, as always, with a bit of a playoff clash. And we're going to go for a Torquay 2, Dorking Wanderers 2. So we're getting to the last few games now. We've got Truro City taking on Enfield Town. Two of the teams that will be, I think Truro have had a pretty good start, actually. So I'm going to be careful what I say of Truro, because I don't feel like I always give them the most amount of credit that I should. Obviously, they've gone away to Salisbury, got a point there. They've managed to go away to Maidstone and get 3 points there. And they've only just narrowly lost to Dorking on that opening day of season. So they're definitely proven to be a bit stronger than I originally thought. Enfield, if you watch my predictions, you'll know I did put them rock bottom, 24th in the league. I don't think signings were good enough. I think signings were really poor and almost relegation material signings, and there's a very slight possibility that is showing. I know they had a very, very good home win against Weston-super-Mare, who are proving to be a bit of a goal scoring outfit already this season. So to keep a clean sheet there at home, fantastic result. But for Enfield, going all the way down to Truro, down in Cornwall, I think they are going to struggle. I can't see them getting anything out of it. I'd love them to prove me wrong, but I'm actually giving Truro a bit of credit for once. About time I do that. I am actually going to go for a 3-1 Truro win. Not comfortable as such, but one of those types of games where you can see Truro being 2-1 up, Enfield pushing, and Truro sealing the deal late on. After that, we've got Welling United. They have to play Farnborough at home. Welling will be wanting some points on the board pretty soon. I know they have managed 3 points opening day of the season against Aveley. Obviously, 1 goal scored, 1 goal conceded. But of course, I've got to tell myself, they have only played 2 games. I'm not the biggest fan of Welling, but I can't slag them off too much. They've played 2 games, won 1, lost 1. And the one they did lose was Bath away. So, I'm going to, just calm it down a bit there. But obviously, what they do have this weekend is they do have a fantastic team in Farnborough coming to town unbeaten. Not just unbeaten, the only side with that 100% record. 3 wins on the bounce. It's a fantastic opening day start for them. The other good thing as well, only 1 goal conceded. As I say, they look like they're just going to be a force to be reckoned with this season. Chin, obviously, what a fantastic sign he was for him at the start of the season. He got his first goal on the weekend against Eastbourne. Farnborough are going to be, they seriously are going to be a great outfit this year. I put them right up there in 4th or 5th. So with all this chat I've just given you, and their 100% record, I can't not back them to win now. So I am going to go for, I tell you what, I'm starting to realise how many 2-1s I've done. I've done quite a few of those. But Farnborough 2, Welling 1. Farnborough are going to be extremely difficult to break down. They've got plenty of players capable of scoring goals. So that is, to me, that's what I've got. That's a bit of a thought out prediction at least. Anyway, last but not least, we have Weston-super-Mare. They are taking on Chelmsford City. Weston-super-Mare, as we know, have been a proper mixed bag this season already. Only 3 points on the board so far, which is fine. Obviously, a disappointing loss to Enfield, an even more disappointing loss to Worthing opened their season being 3-0 up. But Super Lukey Colson doing something he didn't quite manage for Dartford last year, scoring goals for fun. He is joint top goal scorer as well. Luke Colson now has 4 goals, 2 of them being penalties in that 2-1 away win at Chesham. They would have been ecstatic just to get 3 points on the board, calm the nerves, because as I've said, I do expect Weston-super-Mare to be a much better side this year. And I was starting to get worried that maybe my prediction was starting to look a bit silly. But going away to Chesham, who will be a good side, getting 3 points on the board. Whether it was 2 penalties or not, it doesn't matter. Whether it was a 90th plus minute when Luke Carlson scored, it doesn't matter. It's a really, really good 3 points away on the road and should really kickstart their season. Obviously, they have to play a Chelmsford side, who are without a win this year. You really would have expected them last season to beat teams like Slough, Hampton and Richmond and Tonbridge, but they just haven't had it this season. Obviously lost a lot of players. I don't even remember if I put them in the playoffs this year, to be honest. But I think they're definitely going to struggle and get nowhere near that second spot like they did last year. But we know Chelmsford, defensively solid, got players that can put the ball in the back of the net. Although I do think it won't be as good of a season for them, I still expect them to come good. They've got players that they have replaced quite well, especially Jake Hyde, new boy from Yeovil, scored on the Tuesday night. I'm trying to get my words out. Monday night, whenever it was. So look, they're still going to be a great outfit this year, but it's games like this where I think West-super-Mare are going to get better and Chelmsford are going to get worse. It's a really difficult one to call so early in the season. Hence why I've probably babbled on way longer than I should. So let's get a prediction down here and let's end it with my favourite 1-1 draw. There you have it. There is all 12 games predicted in my typical rambling fashion. Well, I can't edit out and re-record it now. It always is a bit more dashy. But that's because I'm always trying to remember so much and just fact check as I go on the screen. So look, I hope you did enjoy. Always good fun. Please like, please subscribe, please put your predictions down below if you do want to get involved. I always love reading them. And until the next one, see you around.